What's going on, everybody? I'm Steven and this is Build Brothers. Today we have a mod that wasn't supposed to be a mod but is a mod now. I spoke of this earlier. It is the SR Performance strut tower brace for the front. Now you may have seen this in another video, except the difference is that we're missing this center plate right here. This actually got lost. My wife did me a favor for Christmas and cleaned the garage for me, and that plate's missing now. And so are the bolts, or the screws, or whatever was holding it in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Lowe's, or Home Depot, whatever, and buy sheet metal, thicker sheet metal, cut out, a cardboard template of that exact size, and then I'm going to mark it on the sheet metal, cut it out, I'm going to paint it so it matches that. And then I got a little decal that I want to put on. So let me show you what I got. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right in the center there, right on the metal plate. I think it'll look pretty good. So that's the game plan. So I'm going to go get that. I'll be right back. And then we will begin the template making and then cutting, and I'll take you along with it. Okay, I got some cardboard here, got a tape measure, and what I'm going to do is measure the spacing, and I'm going to then mark it down on the template, cut the template, make sure it fits as we want it to, and then we can use that to trace the sheet metal. The sheet metal's out in the Mustang right now, and I also got some screws, probably a little bit too, they might be the wrong size, we'll have to check. But we'll do all that, we'll get the template set, make sure it fits good, and then we'll move to the next step. Okay, I have the template squared off here. This should align pretty good with, it's probably impossible to see, but let's see how so you can see the line pretty much goes right up to the edge. I'm going to cut this out quick, and then we'll see how it works with the, how it fits in there, and then we'll have to make template marks for the bolt holes, and once I get that in, then I can start marking it on the metal. So let's knock it out. Okay, I cut out the template. Here it is. It looks to fit right in there. It's a hair longer on each side, maybe like a millimeter on each side, which is fine. Now, underneath this template, there's these little holes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the template on here, tape it exactly where I want it. Then I'm going to flip the whole strut brace over, and then use a marker and mark the little dots for the drill holes, and then I'm going to drill them out cleanly, line it up, make sure it fits right, and then I'm going to transfer that to the metal, and then we'll use some tool, not sure which one I want to use yet, to cut this to try to make this a plate for it. So let's get going. Okay, as you can see, I marked the holes in there. Seems perfectly aligned, so now I'm going to drill them out. I mean, it's cardboard, so I'm just going to pretty much stick something through them, and then I'm going to make sure, I'm going to put it back on here, make sure they align properly, and then we're going to transfer it. Alright, here's the piece of sheet metal I got. I got 6 inches by 18 inches. If you remember, I had an 8-inch long piece that I'm making, and I think, alright, so here's the piece of sheet metal. There was a sticker here from Lowe's, and it left residue afterwards. So I have some WD-40. I read about this trick. You soak it on there and then you rub it off. I have an old dirty microfiber that I'm going to use to try to scrub it. Then I'm going to clean the metal down, mark it, and go from there. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that. That's crazy. You can see, oh, where am I? Right here. Try not to cover the light. The light is literally right above this. But look how clean that is just from rubbing this just a tiny bit. I could not get that off at all. I used some like heavy degreaser and stuff. But look at this. I'll tell you what, if you have some sticker or something, some like sticky residue, look at that. I'm not even trying. I'm barely rubbing at it. So this is a win. I recommend that highly. If you have sticker residue, some sort of emblem that you're trying to take off to do like a debadging or something, WD-40 I wouldn't leave it on too long. I'm not sure how it affects paint, but for this, being a piece of sheet metal, I'm just going to clean it anyway when I'm done, so it's awesome. So there's a tip for you. I kind of used the WD-40 to clean it because it was on the rag already. I mean, that's pretty crazy how clear that got from, I don't know if you could see the before and after, but that's very clean. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Alright, I cut the plate out. It looks a little funny because I had to smooth out some of the edges, and you can see the finish coming off, which is why you see those little spots everywhere. It's actually surface rust. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to scuff the surface with 1000 grit sandpaper. I'm going to use some wax and grease remover, and then I'm going to put some high temp paint on it just because it's going to be sitting right over top the engine. I don't know how hot it'll get, but I figure instead of risking it, why not just use it. So I have some black high temp paint, and we'll see how it comes out with 1 or 2 coats, and then we'll decide if we want to do any more. But I'm going to go ahead and scuff it, and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, it's scuffed up pretty good here now. So I'm going to go ahead and wash it down with wax and grease remover, and then we'll prep for the first coat of paint. Alright guys, I finished the painting, so I'll show you what I have. It's not perfect. It has some imperfections in the paint. Almost looks like dust, so I might try to, I don't know if I want to sand it or if I'm just going to try to buff it out a little bit. I'll probably hit it with a buffer and see how it looks afterwards, but here it is. See if you can see in the light. It's almost like dust, which, I mean, it was perfectly clean when we started, so I don't know what that is. Maybe dust that settled. It is dirty in the garage, I don't know. But I'm going to try to buff it. I do have to enlarge the holes a little bit. The screws that I have are bigger than that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to buff it. If it tears the paint up too bad, I'll probably throw another coat on it, and then we'll start the mounting. So let's knock that out quick. Alright, I just hit it with another coat of paint. And look at that. That's crazy. I don't know if that's focusing. Let's see if I can make it focus. I had it completely dust free, and the dust just pours on there. I'm gonna have to deal with it as is right now because there's not much I can do as far as. That's crazy. You can see the fumes coming off the paint. Alright, second coat is done. There's definitely still some specks on there. It is much lighter than it was last time though. It looks pretty bright in the light, but it's not actually that bad. This is actually the back side of it. So it almost looks like it has like a flake to it, but it is some form of dust. It's really cold in here. That's why you see that, whatever you call that, condensation or whatever when I rub it. But I think it's good. So we're gonna go ahead and install it now, and then we'll put the decal on, and we'll be ready to install the whole thing on the car. That's okay. All right, guys, here we have it. It is done. We got the Ford Racing decal on there. You can see a little residue because I wiped it down with some cleaner. I'll go over it and clean it up then. But right now we're going to install it. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So let me jump over there. All right. Here we have 4 13mm nuts. This is on the front strut tower. 4 more over there. We're going to take these off. The 13mm. I'm going to use my electric DeWalt impact gun. Take them off. And then we'll lay the strut tower brace on. I'll do that really quick. I got all 4 of those off on both sides. So there's 8 of them. Now with the strut tower brace, I'm going to go ahead and lay this on here. See if I can do that with one hand. Okay, just have to line it up with the studs on both sides, which it looks like it's good. Now, these have washers that you need to put on here. They're a washer that goes over each one. I believe the studs are 5/16. So if you get something in that range, I just grabbed these from Lowe's. These are 1/4 inch. So 4/16, but I'm going to throw all these on, and then you just throw the nut on. In the install video from American Muscle, they did not torque these down to any specific setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the impact gun, tighten them, because they did come off. They did come off with the impact gun, so I can't imagine they were too tight. But I'm going to check them in a week and just make sure they didn't come loose. So let me go ahead and throw those on, and then I'll show you the finished product. All right, and there we have it. Got my custom Ford Racing. I do have a 3-inch cal hood install video and driving video, so you can see what that looks like. I'm also going to wrap it in black, so I will show you. So until next time, guys, make sure you like and subscribe.